So I just received the latest Fax Air coaster from Double Alpha. They sent it to me, so I thought I'd make a video to talk a bit about what makes this coaster different from the previous ones and also how to set it up. So this one here is my Alpha X holster that I've been using for 8 years already. As you can see, it's pretty old now, and it's definitely seen a lot of action over the years, but I've kept using it without any issues. Now let's open up the packaging. It comes in two parts. The main thing here is the new holster, the Flex Air. This one is FDE, which is the color I chose. They asked me which color I wanted, so I picked the sand color. So as you can see, it's actually made from a really hard poly material. Yeah, it's really tough, which is different from before. Like the Alpha X ones were all made of
Aluminium.
This one, it's the same. Actually, its design is just like their old holsters. You can still adjust the height. And here, there's also a ball joint, so you can adjust it to different angles. So if you take a rough look and compare, this one here, compared to the Alpha X on the left, is a bit smaller. Yeah, this one on the left is a bit smaller. But as we mentioned earlier, this is made of polymer plastic, right? So both of them are
Aluminium.
meaning this whole set is
made by aluminium.
But this one has a poster-style outer shell. So they switched to using polymer, and the reason is that they wanted to release a holster that, compared to the previous Flex holsters, is more affordable and lighter. The second important thing about this holster is what they call the insert block. There are distinctly two primary types, Type A and Type B. If we typically and consistently use high-capacity magazines, we will predominantly utilize the insert Type A. Online, there's a very helpful and comprehensive chart clearly showing which specific window fits precisely with which particular type. I will certainly place the direct link conveniently under this video so that everyone can easily check it out thoroughly when they are considering purchasing. So this essential component is indeed the inner barrel. So about the inner barrel, you can see it's pretty interesting. It has two notches. In this video, the main thing I want to talk about is how to properly set up these two notches. This is different from the old Double Alpha ER design. For this holster design, each set of blocks is made for different
guns type.
So the blocks are different. For example, this one is for the CZ SP01, so you need to buy the specific block for that model. It fits into the old Double Alpha holster or the Alpha X holster, but the new version's different. In the new version, all the
guns type
have been consolidated into just two blocks, Block A and Block B. The one I have here right now is Block A. Because I mainly use it for high cap, now let me explain how to set up the insert block. When you get it out of the box, you'll see these two red tabs here. They're open. So when you're setting it up, the first step is to make sure this part is pulled back. Once it's pulled back, then you align this chocolate guard, this part here, roughly in position. Line it up with this curve, that's right. So for those of you setting this up for the first time, you just need to move this front tooth here, that's all. So how do you do it? Just loosen it up. You'll notice, see, one side is curved and the other side is flat. Actually, both sides can be used to make contact with the front part of the window frame, because sometimes, depending on the type of window, the position where it attaches can be different. So this is just to fit different types of
trigger gun
on the market. Now, for me, the front part of the grip on my gun is flat, right? So I just press the flat side against the back here, like this, and fit it roughly like this. Then just tighten it up. For the first setup, you don't need to tighten it all the way, just roughly secure it for now. Yeah, that's about right, just like that. Now it's basically secured for now. So give it a try. Actually, this step is to simulate the situation when you reholster. You know, just like that scenario. That's how you draw from the holster, and that's how you reholster, just like that. All right, do you see it now? When you reholster, the back tooth here seems to be a bit further away. So I'll move the back one a little bit forward. Fit it back in securely. All right, like this, right? Now you can see that the gap is pretty much gone. It's a good fit, not much of a gap left. Back in the day, you could have set it even tighter here, for example, making the front part look a bit nicer. This front surface here looks a bit better now. Yeah, that's it. Take it off. So after setting up this one, after setting up these two teeth, inside this package, there's a bunch of spacers. What are these spacers for? Well, they come in different thicknesses. It's written here like 8.75, 5 millimeters, 6 millimeters, and for the high curve, you use this 10 millimeter one with the A opening. In my case, that's how it is. So how do you actually use them? Look, you see here, there are also some arrow pieces. I'll talk about those in a bit. They actually have some more thoughtful designs, and these arrow pieces can be used for other purposes. But let's talk about this part first. All right, so I've set up this insert block, and now we'll cover it. Once it's covered, you don't need to screw in these screws just yet, because we're just testing it out for now. I'm using this 10 millimeter piece. Yeah, just put it in like that and make sure this screw here is facing upwards. That's right. Okay, now I'll just hold it in place for now, not tightening it yet. Let's try inserting the gun host. All right, so as you can see, it's already installed and it fits. Now let's try pulling it out. See, it's actually already locked in place. You can only pull it out in one upward direction. That's it. So this is the initial setup done, but actually it's not finished yet. Like I mentioned earlier, even if I use this last shim, it still doesn't fit 100% with the thickness of the grip and the trigger guard of my current gun. So there will still be some movement. That's why in the original design, they included a whole bunch of shims. That's the reason why. For example, let me try it now. Let's say I put on all the shims, right? That adds a certain thickness. But whether you actually need to use all of them, you have to test it to find out. So let's try it now. I'll install all of them first. Okay, now all the additional shims are installed. I've put them all on completely, so now can it fit me? For this women's group, let's take another look. Oh, turns out it doesn't work. It can't fit in. So in other words, in this situation, I don't need to use so many pieces. Let me try cutting it in half. Almost half now. Put it in again and try one more time. See, you can tell that it's almost no gap left. So for this, it really depends on your own feel. Maybe I think it's a little loose right now, at least for my gun, so I might be able to add a few more thin shims. All right, then put it back together and try it out again. See, now it's almost 100%, a perfect fit. That's it. So that's basically the purpose of these shims. All right, so my next step is to put everything back together properly. See, this part here isn't tightened yet, so it can still come off. The original setup comes with some self-tapping screws specifically for these two spots, right here where the shim is. Now, just screw these in, so that's two screws here. All right, after tightening these two, we'll put in the rest of the screws. There are two more here. The main screws you definitely need to install are the ones that secure the insert block. So now we've put in all these screws, let's test it again to see if there's any problem. Looks good, no issues at all. Pulling it out, no problem. It actually comes with an extra shim like this one. So what's the purpose of this shim? Well, some shooters, often like to add a shim here to reinforce this spot, making the whole holster even firmer. So with this piece, you can choose to use it or not. If you do use it, it'll fill up this space right here. Yeah, so it'll just prop the gun up a little bit higher. Whether you need this or not depends on your own preference. If you do need it, they actually include the screws for you, so you can attach both shims wherever you want. Now, this insert setup is basically all done. So what's the next step? It's to set up the holster. I'll put the whole holster back onto the bell mount. Use the original Dr. Locke's cloth to secure it. That's right. Today, I'm going to remove the old holster, which I just loosened from the screws. Now pay attention, the old holster actually took up two slots. The bell clip, which is this connector here, actually takes up 2 slots. And I just realized that this new design, besides being smaller, is also narrower. So it only takes up 1 slot. Okay, so the holster setup is done. Now, look, do you see my old Alpha X? I actually installed a pad on it, which I bought separately at the time. As far as I know, the Flex holster, which is the female version of the flag, actually comes with this extra pad. But since this one is the Polyma economy version, it doesn't include the pad. However, because I used the one with the pad before and it felt really good, I'm definitely going to add this piece on separately again. So this is mainly to give you support. Normally, when we use a holster and put a gun in it, there's some weight, and this provides support at your pelvic area, making it more firm. If you don't have it, it'll feel lighter, but some people don't like not having that extra support here to hold the gun in place. With it, it's just more secure. Just snap it on like this, and that's it. You do need to use a bit of force. All right, that's done. Everything fits perfectly now. Are you ready? All right, so now everything is installed, but it's not tightened yet. I purposely didn't tighten it. The final step is to put it back onto the window, adjust it to the angle you're used to, and then tighten all the screws. That's it.